He slid the papers across the kitchen counter like they were a gift, like I should thank him. I refuse to be tied to a lazy, worthless woman. That's what he said. Word for word. No hesitation, no flinch. I just stared at him, not blinking, not speaking. The kettle behind me was boiling, a sharp, hissing scream, but I was quieter, colder. He thought he won. He had no idea. Back then, I loved him like a fool loves fire. We met on a wet Tuesday in October. My umbrella flipped inside out, and he offered his jacket like a scene straight out of a tired rom-com. Charming, patient, too patient, like he was studying me from day one. We married 2 years later in a courthouse with plastic flowers and my mother's pearls wrapped twice around my neck. He used to say, "You're my home." He stopped saying it the moment I stopped earning. A layoff, a pause. Then the sneers started. At first in silence, then in front of others. When I'd try to talk, he'd check his phone. When I'd cry, he'd yawn. I thought it was pressure, stress. But the truth? He was already gone. The first crack showed up in the laundry, a receipt tucked inside his jeans pocket. 1 dinner for 2, a hotel suite, and a bottle of wine I knew he didn't drink. Pinot Noir gave him migraines. I didn't confront him. I just memorized the room number. Then there was the perfume, vanilla and lilac. Not mine, not even close. I haven't worn scent in 2 years. Then came the final blow. My best friend, Marissa, started wearing her hair the same way I used to. The same dress I gave her just for fun was now her profile picture on Facebook, paired with his reflection in the window behind her. Subtle, sloppy. They thought they were clever. They had no idea. I stopped crying that night, and I started planning. See, what he didn't know, what neither of them knew, was that when I got laid off, I didn't sit idle. I started freelance consulting online, quiet work, lucrative clients. A few went long-term. I said nothing, just stacked the money, watched it grow, reinvested it. 1 contract turned into 5, then 10. Quietly, methodically, I crossed $450,000 in earnings, sitting neatly in 3 accounts, all in my name. I played the role of the struggling wife perfectly, took his insults like folded napkins, kept the tears behind closed doors, smiled at Marissa at brunch, asked how her life was going. I waited for the moment. Then he gave it to me, the divorce. He assumed I'd beg. I didn't. I signed the papers that afternoon. No fight, no emotion. Just one condition: I'd waive spousal support if I kept the house. He grinned like a man walking away with a trophy. He didn't ask why I wanted it. Of course he didn't. They married 3 months later. I didn't go, but I sent a gift, an anonymous card, no name, just 1 line, typed in 12-point font, "Check the basement." He never thought twice about that dusty corner, never noticed the locked cabinet, didn't care what I kept down there. Inside, every tax return, every contract, proof of assets, and a notarized statement from a lawyer confirming the house had been purchased in my name with my earnings, just 2 weeks before he filed for divorce. He thought it was his, thought I'd built nothing. He opened the cabinet after that card arrived. I know he did. He's too curious not to. I saw them again by accident. Coffee shop on Main. I walked in. They were already seated. She looked thinner, nervous. He looked older, hollow. He looked up. Our eyes met. I didn't smile. He stood, started walking toward me. I could see the confusion in his face, the storm building behind his eyes. He reached me and said, "You knew, all along." I sipped my coffee. Of course. And the money? I tilted my head. Let the silence stretch. Then I whispered, "You divorced a millionaire, Tom, for a woman who uses expired coupons and lies about it." Marissa's face fell. Tom's mouth opened, then closed. No words. Just silence. Delicious, perfect silence. I walked out. The sun hit just right as I stepped back into the street, warm on my skin, weightless. He thought he'd left me in ruins, but I'd been rebuilding the entire time, brick by silent brick. He'll spend the rest of his life wondering how he missed it, how he underestimated me. That's the thing about quiet women. We're not broken. We're just loading the gun.